Good day, and you're welcome to Dssg Nation. Our topic for today is pulmonary tuberculosis. If this is your first time watching a video from Dssg Nation, do make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button so that we can notify you whenever we create any video. So, let's get going. Pulmonary tuberculosis. If we are to give a definition of pulmonary tuberculosis, the meaning of pulmonary is anything relating to or affecting the lungs. And when you say tuberculosis, osis means a disease state, and tuberculosis means a disease caused by tuberculous. Pulmonary tuberculosis is caused by a microorganism called the tubercle bacilli, and also called the Mycobacterium tubercle, and that is its shape. Actually, this Mycobacterium tubercle attacks the immune system and gets itself protected by secretion. And that secretion that I've just drawn is the function of that secretion is to protect the Mycobacterium tubercle. And the way it's doing that, we are going to get it as go on in this video. So the Mycobacterium tubercle enters the body system through the nose because it's a respiratory disorder. So it enters into the nasopharynx, into the trachea, and from the trachea into the lungs. And if you watched our last video about pneumonia, you will understand that the lung is filled with alveoli, and this Mycobacterium tubercle travels into the lungs. And as it reaches the alveoli, it is set up inflammation. And this inflammation leads to exudate, which prevents oxygen from reaching the body tissues. So when oxygen finds it difficult to reach the body tissue, the individual becomes cyanosed. I'm sorry, that's not the correct spelling for cyanosis, but I think you know if you watched the last video. So there is correlations or relationships between tuberculosis and the immune system. Let's say that box I'm drawing is the immune system, and that one is the Mycobacterium tubercle. The type of tuberculosis when this Mycobacterium tubercle is fighting the immune system. If the immune system is able to contain by sending phagocytes to kill that microorganism, and this type of tuberculosis is known as primary tuberculosis. And do you know how those cells do this? Those cells are called phagocytes. And when you say phagocytes, they are cells that eat something, and those things that they eat is the microorganism and foreign bodies, and they contain lysosome as one of their body organelles. So let's say that is the Mycobacterium tubercle as it attempts to enter the body, and these lysosome they attacks the Mycobacterium tubercle and kill it, and that is called pulmonary tuberculosis. Don't forget, all this that we are explaining is happening within the lungs. So let's say within the alveoli, the Mycobacterium tubercle survives. So I'll just give you what happened that make this Mycobacterium tubercle survive. Don't forget the other time I said Mycobacterium tubercle has their own secretions, and this secretion protects them. Now let's see that. So as the bacterium tubercle enters the alveoli, attempt to engulf it, but they produce their secretions. So as the phagocytes want to attack, this secretion prevents those phagocytes from ingesting them. And when this happens, the Mycobacterium tubercle has a chance of survival. So the immune system of the body sends T cells to kill the Mycobacterium tubercle. So these cells, they will mobilize themselves in the aim of killing the Mycobacterium tubercle. So they surround the Mycobacterium tubercle for weeks. Some textbooks say for days and some even say for months. And they form something called caseous necrosis, which is just a cheesy mess. And when it goes longer, it becomes what we call the gun focus. And this gun focus will calcify. It becomes harder, which make the alveoli become patch-like. It will look patchy. It will get a lot of patches, and this further impede blood supply to the lungs. Oxygen supply to the body organs. So with time, the microorganism proliferate and give rise to more organisms within the lungs. So when this Mycobacterium tubercle spends a lot of time in the lungs, it reproduces, and there are lots of Mycobacterium tubercle within the alveoli. Just to draw a few. So as these Mycobacterium tubercle increase in number, the body also will send more T cells to surround that Mycobacterium tubercle to inactivate it. And this leads to a lot of gun focus within the lungs. And this leads to more gun focus, as I've just said, in the lungs. And later forms a cavitations. So like the more the gun focus, the more the cavitation of the alveoli, which causes this microorganism to have easy access into the bloodstream, and those are the cavitations. You can see that the respiratory membrane is no more there, so this microorganism, they become activated again and travel into the blood. And when they are in the blood, they are made readily available for any organ, so they infect organs as much as possible. And when these Mycobacterium tubercle are present in the blood, it is called the hematogenous dissemination, and also they also call it miliary tuberculosis. Like these Mycobacterium tubercle are within the blood, miliary tuberculosis. So when they are in the blood, the different organ, because all the body organs are connected by blood, so there is no organ that is not getting blood supply from the heart. So when the heart pumps blood, the Mycobacterium tubercle travel to distant organs. For example, that's the brain. So when the brain and the spinal cord got infected, we all know that what protects the brain and the spinal cord is the meninge. And this meninge, when they got inflamed, it forms meningitis. That is the inflammation of the covering of the brain and the spinal cord. And when this Mycobacterium tubercle gets to the kidney, it will lead to pyuria. So there will be pus in urine because it has already infected that kidney. And when it gets to the liver, it causes hepatitis, that is the inflammation of the liver, and so on and so forth. It affects multiple organs. So we've talked about the brain before, that the brain is going to suffer from, brain and the spinal cord will suffer from meningitis. And that is just a brief pathophysiology of pulmonary tuberculosis. Now to the diagnostic investigations. So all those tests you can carry out to ascertain pulmonary tuberculosis is the tuberculin skin test, the CT scan, the sputum culture sensitivity. So those three are the most commonest one. And there are still a lot of tests that we can be discussing here. You can read more on it. And for the pharmacotherapy, that is the use of drug to treat pulmonary tuberculosis, you can actually use rifampicin, isoniazid, streptomycin, ethambutol, And the acronym for that, if you study it very well, is RISE, RISE. So that make it easy to learn, to memorize rather. So thanks for watching, and do make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button so that we can notify you whenever we create any video. I'm very sorry my voice looked dull actually. I've got some ups and downs, and I want to make sure I upload this video today. So that's the reason why my voice is a little bit dull. So don't be afraid, I'm still your guy, your friend, Babatunde Abdulgafar Oladayo. So see you in the next video. Thank you.